Our beauty evolves as we age. Join me, Valerie Albertini, for real beauty solutions for women old enough to know and young enough to care. Hydration is key to great skin, so join us each week for beauty finds, skincare tips, and the beautiful new colors each season brings. Hi, I'm Valerie Albertini, and we're going to be talking about 5 tips for successful self-tanning. Now, we all know that as spring gets here, we get shorts out and dresses, and I don't know about your legs, but mine definitely look better with a little bit of color on them. They hide some of those imperfections that we have. And our channel is all about real beauty solutions, particularly for those of us that are over 45. So we're going to do 5 tips for successful self-tanning so that we can get a little bit of color on our legs and wherever else you like. We're going to take a look at preparation and some different products. So as many of you know, I've tested beauty products in the industry for about 35 years. It's one of my favorite things to do. I like to see how they work, which one works better. Sometimes it's personal preference and sometimes it's just performance. So let's take a look at tip number 1. That is going to be selecting your product. Now, products come in different forms for self-tanning. This one is a mist, so that you can spray it up and down your legs and arms, wherever. It's a nice fine mist, and it doesn't really have any color to it. It's kind of flesh colored when it comes out. Ageless Sun is a cream, and it's lightly moisturizing, and it is a white cream, actually. So when you spread it, you can't really see it going on, but we're going to talk about how you're going to apply it so that you don't have that streaky look when you're done. The other type is a mousse, and that sometimes will come in a regular mousse can, like you'll see your mousse for your hair coming. Other times it comes like this, and it's more of a foam that you're going to use. Now, these are really nice. Some people love this because they can see where it's going, and this one definitely has color to it. So you can see where you're applying it a little easier. I find when I rub them in, I can't see it that much anyway. And but some people really prefer that type. So you have to find one that you like. Now, successful self-tanning, I'm going to try and get that all out, is really about prep. So our next 2 tips are going to be prepping your skin. The first one is going to be to exfoliate. Now, all of your self-tanners are going to grab a little bit where you have dry skin. I'm sure you've done them and seen it stick on your hands if you didn't get it often enough. So get a really nice gritty scrub. I like Rough Love body scrub myself. You can use a loofah. Do your elbows with it. Really go up and down your arms and your legs really well and get the dead skin cells off. So tip number 2 is exfoliate. Get the dead skin off. You're trying to make the surface of your skin as even as you can to begin with. Tip number 3 is moisturize. So whether you take a creamy moisturizer, I like some of the new sprays that go on. They're clean, they're a little bit kind of just a little drier after they set up. But this gives you some moisture in places, and you can take and put it on your knees, your elbows, again, those areas where the self-tanner tends to grab. So exfoliate and then moisturize. When you do your moisturizer, do it very lightly. That's why I like a spray. You can rinse it off in the shower, do an in-shower body moisturizer, but get your arms, legs, the trunk of your body just very lightly moisturized. What that will do is it will help even the porosity out so you're not grabbing in one area over the other, again making your self-tanner nice and even. It will also let these go on nicer when you have just that little bit of moisturizer in your skin. Okay, tip number 4 is all about the application. Take your self-tanner and do small areas to start with. If you take self-tanner in your hand and run it up your arm or run it up your leg, you're creating the streaking. So rub it around in an area. Don't try to take it and cover big areas all at once. So take a small amount of self-tanner in your hand, do the top of your thigh, then do the bottom of your leg, and work your way across your body with smaller amounts of it. And that is one of the biggest things that will prevent the streaking. So take your time, do small amounts, spread them really nicely, and cover all the areas. Now, with your application, I really recommend that you do this over a few day period of time. That also gives you a nicer, more finished look. You can see if you miss just that little bit of a spot somewhere. And I take what's left over in my hands and then do my elbows and my knees. I always find my ankles are just the hardest spot for me to do. So I take a little bit of moisturizer and put it in my hand and then put a little bit of my self tanner in my hand. Rub that in and then do around my ankles and just take that leftover product that's on my hand and do my feet. Now tip number 5. You've got to do this or it ruins everything you did ahead of time. Tip number 5 is let it dry. It's a little creamy or damp, whichever one you've used. You have to take a few minutes and just let it dry. If not, you're going to put clothing on, and if it has color to it, you may stain your clothing. But also, if you have the seam of a pants, I put jeans on one day after I had done it, and I had the lovely seam of my jeans going up the side of my thigh. So take a few minutes, just let it dry. The next day, do it again, but you don't need to follow all the steps. So do it gradually over a 3 or 4 day period of time, and you'll have a really nice glow to your skin. Get rid of a few of the imperfections on your legs. So when you do it the next day, just start with a little bit of moisturizer. You don't want to exfoliate again. Remember, the self tanner is taking on those top layers of your skin. So every once in a while, I just let it all fade off, exfoliate really good, and start over. So 5 tips for self-tanning. 1, find a really nice product that you like, something that is in a good color. You might need to choose a color if you're very light or very dark. Most of the oranges are gone. You really just don't see them in the products very much. Tip number 2, exfoliate. Either use a scrub, get a loofah. Tip number 3, moisturize. You have to create an even surface so that your product can take more evenly. You don't want a dry spot here and a moisturized spot over here. You want to try to get it as even as you possibly can. Tip number 4, apply in small areas. Do it multiple days in a row. And tip number 5, let it dry. When you take a look below, you will see some links to places to go to find some different products that I happen to like, and also subscribe to our channel. Thanks for joining us.